Welcome back to Element 14 Presents. I'm Lorraine, and this week we're going to make a cafe announcer. So you ever in a cafe and they give you a number when you order your food and you sit down and then they call your number and you have to get up and go get your food. But sometimes, well, a lot of the time, these systems are really flawed. The place is noisy, the system isn't, the microphone system isn't very loud, or it's very distorted, or there is no microphone system and it's someone with the quietest voice announcing your number. So your number, say, is 21 and they're like, and you're like, what was that? Was that even a number? So I want to create a system where they can pre-record their numbers in a nice quiet space, in a clear voice, and then you give them a keypad and then they can enter the numbers and it will announce it on a speaker system or just announce it on a integrated speaker. So it's loud, it's clear, everyone understands what number was called, and everybody gets their lovely, lovely food really fast. Instead of trying to draw, I'm going to just show you everything with the products. So we're going to start off with a Pi Zero, and somewhere we have an SD card. There it is. So that's preloaded with the Raspberry Pi OS. And what we're going to go for this time, so we need to play some audio. And what I've got is a little speaker. Isn't that cute? But it's actually a USB speaker. So we're not going to try and add a hat like my last project. And we've got some OLED screens here to choose from, so you know what you're typing. So I was thinking like this little guy might do, doesn't need to be massive, right? This one's a little bit bigger. These are like seed ones, so they have Grove connectors. So you need a bit of wiring to get them onto the Pi. I've got this jobby. It's like a LiPo shim, so it lets you add a LiPo battery to your Pi Zero. And I've got a LiPo as well. So yeah, if they want it to be like not plugged into the wall, which kind of makes sense. If they do want it plugged into the wall, we have a Raspberry Pi plug. And I bought this cool little thing. It's like a, you can't see anything anymore. It's a switch. It's a little, very satisfying switch. And probably the most important part is the actual keypad itself. So I'm not going to use the Raspberry Pi box because that'd be like advertising. But isn't that just like the perfect size? Maybe I should be sponsored. So everything is going to fit in this lovely box. And so we might have the power cable or the charger for the LiPo battery coming out here. So it can be standalone or it can be plugged into the wall. But the maybe like the speaker kind of goes at the front here. You know, you kind of imagine it like that somehow. The speaker sticking out the front, looking a bit more flush with the box. I ripped the box, so we can't actually use this box. But kind of like that, I like that. But maybe it might be better actually if it looked like, you know, like that with the speaker on top like that. Oh, that could look funky, couldn't it? So yeah, the idea is you enter your number, 21, and you press hash and it announces the number. And you get your delicious food. The actual box I haven't figured out yet. I don't really want to 3D print it. It kind of feels like unnecessary for something that's really compact. So I've got like this pretty little box. Needs a bit of paint on it maybe, but it kind of doesn't matter that it's pretty because the keypad's going to go over it. We could do some proper recycling and use this toffee tin. I quite like the idea of that. This is a box I bought a while ago, kind of like a waterproof box. You can, this one you can't, but some of them you can pop out these panels. And they're like for wiring cables, true. So that looks quite professional looking. It's just how this is going to look really, like with the cables, like the solder going down. You kind of want to protect this bit, so Maybe I do need to build some sort of mount to hide this wiring from kind of users pulling it out by mistake. So yeah, I'm still kind of working on the box, but everything else I've got, so I can start assembling. Let's go! The first thing I want to test on the Pi Zero is the sound. So let's go here. Not there. Ooh. Share sounds also. So what we need to do up here in audio is change it from usually HDMI is our default. I need to right click on this. And oh, there it was. I'm on a VNC here, which is super slow. Ooh, click. Okay, then back here we can play some audio sounds. So we have some sounds here. So we're going to A play front center, and our USB audio speaker is plugged in to this Pi Zero.
Front center.
Nice. That was so much easier than the last project where I used a re-speaker module or hat. So that's the USB speaker just working. And when I reboot this, it will automatically go to the USB speaker. There's no code we have to write. So here's the OLED. It's connected using a Grove connector and gets a bit squishy here. So I've got 4 jumper wires connected to the Grove. Like I said, a bit squishy. So we've got blue, purple, I think grey and white. And they're going to the Pi. Let me show you. And I've put them all up here on this end of the Pi. So I'll do some funky graphics here for you to show you what pins these are on. But that connects the OLED to the Pi. We'll need some extra pins for the keypad, but let's get the OLED working first. Even though I'm using a different OLED, these instructions from Raspberry Pi Spy are still the best ones I've found. In summary, these are the libraries that you install. There's some other details like you have to enable I2C, and he does a test in here to make sure that I2C is working. It also makes a virtual environment. This took forever on a Pi Zero. I just forget how slow they are. Now we're going to grab the Luma library from GitHub. Way! I didn't think that was going to work. I thought we had to say which screen we have. So I've done this before with the last project, you know, the voice box, but it never really gets old. Come on, autofocus. The problem is the flickering screen, but you can see it, you can see it. Ooh, is this a multicolored screen? Oh my god, it's yellow and blue. I didn't realize that. Oh, I didn't realize the examples were also in multicolor. Okay, keypad next. So I found this right angle pin, and I was thinking at first to go like this way. I don't think they're actually 9 pins. I think the 2 at the edge are just mechanical. But then I saw my moon. You remember my moon project? And that has them going kind of up this way. So it kind of keeps all the wires out of sight, which I quite like. So then my jumper wires. Yeah, that can work. Okay, so I've wired up the keyboard. That's now been soldered. This is from the technical documents. So in order, we have like number 1 is column 2, which I've connected to GPIO 27, and it goes this way, which is a bit confusing. So that's column 2, row 1, column 1, and so forth. So these are my pins. I'll show you this in the code. Yeah, so if you look at the code, there's our rows and our columns that match what we've written down there. This is the key mapping of what's going to appear, and we're just going to get it to print out. This is all kind of GPIO stuff. So yeah, we're going to print when we press a key. Woo! Oop. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, star, 0, hash. Hey, that's our keypad working. All the parts of the announcer are working separately. So the keypad is working, the OLED is working, and the speaker is working. Obviously, we need to get them all working together. But first, let me show you the app so we can record audio onto our phone and then transfer that to the Pi so we have something to actually play. So here's the app that I've created. I think it needs a better name and maybe a cooler logo here, but I'm quite liking this kind of simple color scheme. So our main window, our main screen is the numbers screen. So these are all our numbers. We've got 1 to 20 and we should have 30, 40, 50, but they've disappeared somehow. So it's still in development, but let's start recording some numbers. So I'm going to record 1. 1.
1.
And it shows me my file, so that's my audio file. The green is kind of like the spikes in the audio. So I can trim it using these blue and red lines. So I'm going to move red down. And that's about right. Save. 2.
2.
Save. And let's record 20. 20.
20.
So now we should have 21.
21.
Okay, so I've got it overlapping because it sounds too weird to do 21. So the overlap is a bit too close. So let's look at 1 again.
1.
So if we take this blue and actually don't trim it, so try and move the blue back there.
21.
Sounds a bit better. Maybe I should check out my 20.
20.
Yeah, that's pretty tight actually. I don't think I can get it any tighter.
21.
That sounds perfect. Yeah. So it can be done. I feel like we can do this to make it sound natural. But what we can also do, you only have a small amount of numbers. Let's add 22. Like actually add the number 22 and record it. 22.
22.
So this end bit, the trim doesn't matter now. So when we preview.
22.
So that didn't go 22. That did my natural 22, which is great. So if you really don't like this kind of trying to get the numbers to line up and they don't sound natural, you can just go ahead and record all the numbers that you could possibly ever want. Might take you a while, but you know, they're there, they're clear, they're crisp, they're natural. I have a test screen. I think it's quite simple and easy to use. What do you think? We're going to add a 4th button here to transfer the files from the phone to the Pi. So the Pi is going to act like a web service. You need to install Flask for that. These two need to be on the same network. So this is my Pi, and this is the server. So we got 168.1.122, and this is the React app that's running. And here's the phone. So I've got now a new button called Upload to Pi. And that worked. I can't believe that worked. Yeah, the files are here, right? So it sent me my 1, my 2, my 20, and my 22. Let's play them. Here are those clips on the Pi. They're M4A files, which A-Play won't play. M-Player will, but it's a lot slower. I find it a lot slower, especially on the Pi Zero. So we're going to use FFmpeg to transfer them to WAV files. We should really do that when they arrive in the Pi.
2.
I need to do so much. It should say ready again. I need to get my combination files and the gaps from the JSON file. I need to put it in a pretty box. I need to mount it in that box. But the project works, right? Let's just ship it. I'm going to go for this box. I've just kind of cut a hole in it to let the wires go through. And I was thinking of maybe adding some screws just to hold this in place because it's been wobbling around a lot. And look what I found is like a cool little hooky thing. I think maybe I can get it through here. Oh, almost. But yeah, I can get it through and pop some holes in and then find some screws that will fit that. You can still kind of see the Pi logo, which is cool. And then I'm going to fit this in here. And then the Pi will live in here and we'll have a hole for the power. So let me show you this before I seal it up. So this is our main kind of screen. So that's going to fold. And I'm trying to stick the speaker on up here. What do you think? I could put it kind of at the side like that. Would that look weird? Or the other side. But yeah, I'm trying to stick it here, maybe with some double-sided tape. This cable is really long, so I'm trying to fold it before I put it in here with the Pi. And obviously the adapter has to fit in here as well. Then I haven't soldered on the LiPo yet, so it does need. Let's just shove that in there. It does need the extra power cable. So I'm thinking I'll close this up. So this sticks on there and this goes in there. Need some tape.
1, 2, 3, 21, 20, 23.
That's the keypad done. I just want to show it to you from the beginning. So right now it's in web mode. So I'm going to turn on my phone and start recording. And we're going to record some new numbers. So let's go with 60. 60.
60.
70. 70.
70.
Okay, then we're going to download it to the Pi. Upload to the Pi. So it says trimming. That means it's received it and all files uploaded. I think I have this twice. Uploaded. So you can't do anything because it's got the files and it's trimming them because the app didn't trim them. It just kind of recorded where the trim was. So the Pi trims them and it also converts them to WAV files. So it's still trimming, Let me show you. What I worry is that it's sending all the files rather than a new file. That could be a possibility. So I have about 10 numbers so far. Hey, okay. So let's give it a go. What did I record? I can't remember. Was it 60?
60.
Yes.
70.
I need some sort of warning to tell me that you don't have that file. Yeah, so 80 doesn't play because I don't have it. So let's try 72.
72.
2's a bit sharp. Let's try the professional husband.
73.
Oh, that sounded so good.
61.
Oh, he's so much better than me.
63.
Yes. So that's the keypad. I'm really happy I made this project. It's been in my brain for so long, so I'm glad that it's out there in the world now. If you're a cafe owner, oh my God, please tell me when you make this project because I really want to see it in a cafe being used. I also feel like it has a lot of other potential. So you can record any phrase, right, and record it against a number. So say you've got a stutter and you can say a certain word in your own time, in like your own house, without stressful situations. But then when it comes to stressful situations, you stutter, you stumble on that word, and you just can't get it out. So you could pre-record it on this little device And you can have a whole load of phrases pre-recorded. And like, again, why don't you use your phone? Sometimes your phone's just not appropriate to take that out and you'd have to kind of scroll through to find the phrase. You could replace the buttons with specific phrases or like the letters of the phrases. Yeah, I think it's got a lot of potential accessibility-wise, as well as a quick way to get food. Let me know what you think about the project on the Element 14 community. I'll see you there.